Warning, this is not a YouTube cover of the song Stay. This is a story of a promise made by one naive and idealistic teacher to 19 fourth graders who trusted her at her word. You see, during my first year of teaching, a homesick kindergartner named Angelita told me that grown-ups never keep their promises. And that day, I decided to be much more careful about the promises that I made. 8 years later, my students know that I rarely make a promise, and if I do, you better believe I intend to deliver. That's why it surprised all of us on the day I got caught up in a theme lesson about perseverance and regret. And for dramatic emphasis, I confessed my own regret about never learning to play an actual familiar song on the piano. I asked my students, in the words of Mary Oliver, to tell me what you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. And then, at their hopeful prompting, I agreed to spend the last 2 months of the school year learning a song of their choosing to prove that it's never too late to make good on a dream or fix a regret. So that's why, at 4 o'clock on this random Tuesday in May, I dug through my garage to find the old Yamaha keyboard that I bought when I was in high school. It's why I marked the keys on that keyboard with masking tape, just like I had done to the old piano in our school's hallway, and I began practicing the song that I promised my students I would be ready to play for them on the last day of their 4th grade year. You're not alone if you're wondering what would possess me to make such a ridiculous promise with only weeks left of the school year, the end of the year crunch, a master's program, and 2 kids of my own to balance. I admit I had taken on too much. But you weren't there. You didn't see the confusion and disappointment on their faces when I admitted that I once let my pride and my circumstances stand in the way of what I wanted. It's something I tell my students to never do. Nah, I have to get my music for the rest of it. But I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get the whole song.
Oh, bang your head on it for real. Make a sound. Wow, that sounded cool.
And that day, when I asked them Mary Oliver's question, I found myself asking myself too. So, what stops us from doing the things we want to do a lot of times? Well, the older you get, the more this is common. It's because you're afraid you're gonna fail. So, for instance, maybe you wrote a rap and you're really proud of it, but you're afraid that when you try to spit it out, you're gonna sound more like, I don't know who to say here, hold on, SpongeBob than like Busta. So you're like, I'm gonna not do this because I feel like silly. So you don't do it because you think you're gonna fail, even though what you have is really good. So the question is, what would you do if you knew for sure you couldn't fail? If you knew there's no way you're gonna mess it up, there's absolutely no way you're not gonna be successful at it, what's one thing you would do if you knew you had no fear about failing it? I think it's a great question. So I have 3 weeks, no, 2.5 weeks, no, like 11 days. And this is like, it shouldn't be this hard. It didn't look this hard when Rhianna did it. I thought about playing the song without the bridge. Unfortunately, though, Rhianna's made it pretty popular, so I feel like the kids are gonna notice. But you know, who needs sleep? We'll figure it out. Go. Oh, that was so close. With only one day left to deliver and my confidence at an all-time low, I decided I better pull some of my most invested students aside and lower their expectations. All right, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was also kind of hoping they were going to give me an easy out. So, remember that promise that I made you?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
That you said you're gonna play on the piano the song "Stay" when I graduate.
Yeah. So, I've been practicing like a lot. It's sort of harder than I thought it was going to be. So, what do you think about that? Like I'm going to practice still. I'm just nervous that like I won't be as good as I wanted to be. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like I'm not going to break a promise to you, but like it might be bad.
If you think you can do it and you're confident in yourself and you do it in front of the crowd, then you'll probably be able to do it.
Because whenever I do things, I always mess up. But then when it comes to the real thing, I never mess up.
Exactly.
Right.
Like when you
I need some words.
Okay.
What can you say to me?
Like push yourself, believe in yourself, and work hard. You know you're the
Do you believe
Or
in me?
maybe if you do it on the ground and then Mr. Crowder's videotaping you, and
So tonight when I'm practicing, I feel like I can't do it. What should I remember?
to believe in yourself. You can do it. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody thinks it's good.
I like everybody in the pod that comes around you is like the audience.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like they just like smile when you're playing. They smile
Yeah, that's right.
and like they just like look.
They just think it's
They just
creative.
look. Yeah, a lot.
It
Okay.
looks like they're happy when you do it.
Yeah, really happy.
Did you get the whole song in your head?
Yeah.
You did?
My heart.
No.
Uh,
And I mess up a
pretty
lot.
much the whole song by heart.
I can sing it by heart.
Just
sing it and sing it.
I have to be able to play it though. That was the promise. All right. I want to make you happy, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try.
What are you going to do with your one wild and precious life?
By May Oliver.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. That's impressive. Woo! I'm so nervous.
You've done this before.
I know, but not the whole thing.
I can do it. Just try to go through the whole thing. It doesn't matter if you just mess up.
Doesn't matter if I mess up. Ready? So like I told you before, this is not a YouTube cover of the Rhianna song Stay. Although I'm happy to report that I was able to play and sing the whole song on the last day of school as promised, that's not really the point. The point is that when I thought about what it is I want to do with my one wild and precious life, I realized that I'm already doing it, but that I should always be working at doing it better. I was humbled by these amazing kids and their belief in me. I want to be someone that they can believe in. Someone asked me through this process why I'm so weird about promises. I think it's weird that we sometimes tell ourselves that it's okay to break them. I think it's sad that we let ourselves disappoint and let down the people who matter to us. I think we can do better. My students will probably not remember forever my rendition of this song, and I can only hope that they don't. But what I do hope they remember is that their belief in me and my promise to them meant enough to me to keep me up at night working to deserve it. We all know what it's like to be let down by the people we love. We all know what it's like to be disappointed. I talk a big talk in my classroom. I talk a big talk in my life. I believe in the power of words to inspire and encourage and motivate. And I know that I've got to back up the things I say with actions to make a real impact. I hope my students and my own children will remember that I didn't give up on the ridiculous promise I made, that I made some sacrifices and overcame some obstacles to keep my word to them because they trusted me to, and that matters to me. Go keep some promises you've made to the people who love you. It will make you feel 10 feet tall. I promise. The reason I hold on. Oh, there's suddenly this hole gone. Buddy, you're the broken one, but I'm the only one who needed saving. 'Cause when you've never seen the light, it's hard to know which one of us is caving. Not really sure how to feel about it. Something in the way you move makes me feel like I can't live without you. It takes me all the way, and I want you to stay. Want you to stay.